There's a lot of stuff in this culture that still doesn't make sense to me, and I will never change. I mean, not that I want to change or not change. I cannot change because the way I grew up back there. As the word immigration, think of it as like a tree. You're taking the tree from with the roots from the bottom and planting it in a whole different land where the land might not take it. Hi, my name is Musa Salahi. I'm an immigrant from the Middle East. I was born in Damascus, one of the oldest cities in the world.
Identity can be defined as the characteristics determining who or what a person or thing is. If someone were to question their identity, many of the questions would sound a lot like, who am I? What do I represent? What do I believe in? And for many immigrants, these questions value the person that they are and the person that they are evolving to, as well as the culture that they left behind.
Family back in Syria mean everything. I have one brother named Isa, and I have 4 sisters still in Damascus. So here's my dad. My dad picture right there. My dad is Kamil. He's known for Kamil, but his true name is Muhammad Kamil Salahi.
Many immigrants tend to immigrate whenever they feel that their home cannot provide.
The civil war, economic, and the most important one is the freedom, the word freedom. Corruption in Syria all the way from the policeman to the president. You know, politically, the government started taking young people and put them in prisons because they were afraid of uproar against the government. And my brother-in-law was gone for almost 9 years. 9 years, nobody knew anything about him. That's the kind of government we have back in Syria. The people who occupied that part of the world was the Phoenician, and all they did is trade between East and West. So it's in the blood of Syrian how to be a good businessman. That's all they did. That's all they know how to do. And they're good at it. And whenever everything is negotiable. So we negotiate on every single item, from a candy to the gold. So that carried with me when I came to this country. When my wife was with me, we're shopping for my sisters, and I asked the lady who's helping us, can you go and get your manager because I want to see if I can get a price cut on all this item. She looked at me like, never heard that before. I told her, well, you got nothing to lose, go ask your manager to come and join us. So she did, and I ended up with 20% off the entire purchase. My wife, actually, she was standing with me, she ran away. She told me, we don't do that in here. So in 1984, finally, my dad bought into the idea of going to America. We had to travel in a car from Damascus to Beirut, which is a 2-hour drive. Beirut, or Lebanon, was going through a civil war at that time. So you should see the driver of the cab driving with no lights in the car, and we're tucked in the back, afraid of getting shot because there were snipers all over the road. You could hear the bullet zooming by you. So we made it to Beirut. The next day, he got me one-way ticket to America. I asked Dad, why one ticket? He said, if I give you 2 tickets, you're going to be back in a month. And he was right. Trust me, if I had a choice, first 6 months, I would have been back. Because it wasn't easy. Missing the family and having nothing, basically. United States in 84, August 84. I made it. They call me Yusfi. And Prophet Yusuf always liked to be by himself. He didn't interact a lot with people. And since I was a kid, they called me that because either my way or the highway. One of the reasons I came to this country is I control my own destiny. You know, once a week, if not more, you'll be part of a dinner that's 75 to 100 people. That's when they know the people. They're very welcoming, very warm. They love to feed you. That's one thing for sure. And more. The more you eat, the more you love us. That's basically the culture. Because to learn a culture, you have to learn a language. I went to English school in this country for 4 months. I'm talking really heavy duty English school. Nobody spoke my language. And that's kind of like strange the first couple of weeks. It's like you're sitting, you're trying to cross a point to a teacher, but you cannot communicate. It wasn't easy, but it was fun, challenging. They give you 1 year as a student to get some experience in your degree before you go back home. And in that 1 year I met Mom. And she kind of showed me the way to stay around and make a family in here. And it took a process of 3 years for me to get the citizenship. That's a little flag they hand you when you get your naturalization. When they give you that piece of paper, they give you a flag with it. And somehow they arranged for every student to go and have Thanksgiving at that family. They cook turkey, food, dessert, you name it. They remember there's one more student with me, who made it a little bit more comfortable. It was first Thanksgiving for me. And that's why it's one of my favorite holidays. My first job was at the flea market down in Phoenix, selling nurses' shoes. Then I worked in ice cream truck. And from one job to another, I did all kind of jobs. That's what made me, the hard time I went through is what made me the tough person I am. It made me appreciate things I have, because I did not have it back then.